ਚੱਕਰ ਚਿਹਨਨ ਬਰਨ ਜਾਤ ਅਰ ਪਾਤਨ ਹਿਨ ਜਿਹੇ ਰੂਪ ਰੰਗ ਅਰ ਰੇਖ ਭੇਖ ਕੋ ਕਹਿ ਨ ਸਕਤ ਕਹੇ ਅਚਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਨਭਉ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਮਿਤੋਜ ਗਹਿਜੈ ਕੋਟ ਇੰਦਰ ਇੰਦਰਾਨ ਸਾਹੇ ਸਾਹਾਨ ਗਨਿਜੈ ਤੇਰੇ ਭਵਨ ਮਹੀਪ ਸੁਰ ਨਰ ਆਸੁਰ ਨੇਤ ਨੇਤ ਬਨ ਤ੍ਰਿਨ ਕਹਿਤ ਤਵੈ ਸਰਬ ਨਾਮ ਕਥੈ ਕਵਨ ਕਰਮ ਨਾਮ ਵਰਨਤ ਸੁਮਤ ਸਗਲ ਦਵਾਰ ਕਉ ਛਾੜ ਕੈ ਗਹਿਓ ਤੁਹਾਰੋ ਦੁਆਰ ਬਾਹੇ ਗਹਿ ਕੀ ਲਾਜ ਆਸ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਦਾਸ ਤੁਹਾਰ ਕਾਹਾ ਬੁੱਧ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤੁਚ ਹਮਾਰੀ ਬਰਨ ਸਕੈ ਮਹਿਮਾ ਜੋ ਤਿਹਾਰੀ ਹਮ ਨ ਸਕਤ ਕਰ ਸਿਫਤ ਤੁਮਾਰੀ ਆਪ ਲੇਹੋ ਤੁਮ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਧਾਰੀ ਮੂਕ ਉਚਰੈ ਸ਼ਾਸਤਰ ਖਟ ਪਿੰਗ ਗਿਰਨ ਚੜ ਜਾਏ ਅੰਧ ਲਖੈ ਬਦਰੋ ਸੁਨੈ ਜੋ ਕਾਲ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਾਏ ਡੰਡਾਉਤ ਬੰਧਨ ਅਨਿਕ ਬਾਰ ਸਰਬ ਕਲਾ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਡੋਲਨ ਤੇ ਰਾਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ ਡੋਲਨ ਤੇ ਰਾਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ।
ਸਤਨਾਮ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਰਾਗ ਦੇਵ ਗੰਧਾਰੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਦਸਵੀਂ। ਇੱਕ ਬਿਨ ਦੂਸਰ ਸੋਨਾ ਚਿਨਾਰ ਭੰਜਨ ਗੜਨ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਸਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਜਾਨਤ ਹੈ ਕਰਤਾਰ। ਇੱਕ ਬਿਨ ਦੂਸਰ ਸੋਨਾ ਚਿਨਾਰ ਭੰਜਨ ਗੜਨ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਸਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਜਾਨਤ ਹੈ ਕਰਤਾਰ। ਰਹਾਉ ਕਹਾ ਪਇਓ ਜੋ ਅਤ ਹਿਤ ਚਿਤ ਕਰ ਬਹੁ ਬਿਦ ਸਿਲਾ ਪੁਜਾਈ ਪ੍ਰਾਨ ਥਕਿਓ ਪਾਹਨ ਕਹਿ ਪਰਸਤ ਕਛ ਕਰ ਸਿਧ ਨ ਆਈ। ਅਛਤ ਧੂਪ ਦੀਪ ਅਰਪਤ ਹੈ ਪਾਹਨ ਕਛੂ ਨ ਖੈ ਤਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਂ ਸਿਧ ਹੈ ਰੇ ਜੜ ਤੋਹੇ ਕਛੂ ਬਰਦੈ ਹੈ। ਜੋ ਜੀ ਹੋਤ ਤੋ ਦੇਤ ਕਛੂ ਤੋਹੇ ਮਨ ਬਚ ਕਰਮ ਵਿਚਾਰ। ਕੇਵਲ ਏਕ ਸਰਣ ਸੁਆਮੀ ਬਿਨ ਯੋ ਨਹਿ ਕਤਹਿ ਉਦਾਰ। ਜੋ ਜੀ ਹੋਤ ਤੋ ਦੇਤ ਕਛੂ ਤੋਹੇ ਮਨ ਬਚ ਕਰਮ ਵਿਚਾਰ। ਕੇਵਲ ਏਕ ਸਰਣ ਸੁਆਮੀ ਬਿਨ ਯੋ ਨਹਿ ਕਤਹਿ ਉਦਾਰ। ਰਾਗ ਦੇਵ ਗੰਧਾਰੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਦਸਵੀਂ। ਇੱਕ ਬਿਨ ਦੂਸਰ ਸੋ ਨਾ ਚਿਨਾਰ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਸਾਜੀ ਨਵਾਜੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਆਪ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਪਾਵਨ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਹਜ਼ੂਰੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਇਕੱਤਰ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ। ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਨਾਮ ਰੂਪੀ ਕਥਾ ਨੂੰ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ। We have been blessed to join in the court of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji to listen to the Katha Vichar, to the discourse of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji's Bani. Maharaj Ji di Sikhya lai, to gain their Sikhya, prapat karne aase ikattar ho rahe ho. We've come together in Guru Sahib's court to take away their teachings. What teachings does Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji give us in their Bani, in their words? That's why we all hear Sevak Sikh Hamare Tariya Hai, Chun Chun Sattara Hamari Mariya Hai. That we hear in Sri Chaupai Sada part that we are all the Sikhs of the Guru. The Maharaji Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji aap benti karde han Vahiguru Ji nu. Even the Guru does a humble plea to Vahiguru Ji ke Sevak Sikh Hamare Tariya Hai. All my Sevaks, all my Sikhs, those that follow this path of Sikhi. Sevak Sikh Hamare Tariya Hai. May they all be carried across. Chun chun sattara hamare mariya hai. They jere shattar pave dushta log khan, those enemies of mine, those who have enmity towards me. Say chun chun ke. They say pick them all out one by one and destroy them. So many, you could look in the Panth, we'll talk about later on a Katha, but the idea that from all corners, it feels like we're getting attacked all the time. But that's why Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Guru Nanak Ji Maharaj Ji gave us Gurbani. Gurbani is our tool. Gurbani has been given to us to protect us, to help us, to guide us in our life as well. Just like in Ramkali Ki War, when Pai Satta Ji, Pai Balwand Ji, they speak about the 5 first Gurus, Panch Guru Sahiban, from Guru Nanak Ji Maharaj Ji up to Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. And they say in there ke now karta kadir kare ke bol hove jo khivde. And they say in that Shabad ke Nanak Raj chalaya sach kot satani nivde. So Pai Satta Ji, Pai Balwand Ji why that Nanak Raj chalaya. Guru Nanak Ji Maharaj Ji started a kingdom, a Raj, a rule. So we talk about Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji is not just a king. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji is the king of all kings. If you look at Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji, they have their royal clothes, their vastar, which is their Ramallah Sahib, you can say. They have a Chaur Sahib. Puratan Samay de vich Sahib Singh Ji, when there was a Raja, they'd have somebody do a Chaur over them. But we say Chaur Sahib. We have a Chandoa Sahib. Wherever the Guru goes, the Guru travels in a Palki Sahib. Whenever a Raja would travel, they travel in a Palki as well. They form a transport. We see this Palki Sahib. Generally, Palki Sahib is when somebody's traveling, a king. That's why look in all the Takht Sahibs, look in Sri Harmandir Sahib. They don't have a Palki above Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. That's when Guru Sahib Ji is traveling at that time. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji is the king of kings, and the Guru has given us a Raj. Nanak Raj chalaya. And they say, what is a Raj of that Vahiguru Ji has given to us, that the Khalsa has? Sacha Kota Satani Nivade. Sacha. The first thing, Sach hai means ke sat bolana, to always speak the truth, to live by the truth. Then they say ke Sach pave Sad Sangat. What is the Sangat that we're keeping? Sat Sangat. That is the first thing that the Guru has given to us. Such a kota. This is the killa. Kot means killa hai, the fortress. The fortress is made out of such, is made out of truth or trueness. The Guru is given to us first. Ja sat pave sat Guru ki bani, sat sat kar jan ho Guru Sikh ho. That the Guru's bani is the complete truth. So that is the first thing for this Raj. If you want Raj, if you want to rule, the first thing we need is such in our life. We have to live by the truth. Sacha kota satani. Sasa then tani, sahat tani means bal. That the kanda, the walls are made out of, have so much strength because of the bhakti the Sikh does. Prema bhakti karke. Through Guru Bani. Bani padke we do prema bhakti of Guru Bani, of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. Guru Meri Puja. Guru Gobind, swinging Guru Bani, that we do puja of our Guru. We serve our Guru. So such a kota satani neev. And then what is the foundations? Neev here means the foundations. That is of nimrta, of humility. So first thing is such, bhakti, fir nimrta, humility. 3 important things that we need. And we know with any type of foundation, the deeper you go to build that foundation, the stronger that building will be and stable it will be. And when we talk about nimrta, nimrta means somebody who's the lowest of the low, the low, the low. So you have to dig really deep down. So Guru Nanak Ji Maharaj Ji or Pai Satta Ji, Pai Balwand Ji are saying to us, okay, these are the 3 things that we need. ਕਿ ਸੱਚ ਕੋਟ ਸਤਾਨੀ ਨੀਵ ਦੇ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਸੱਚ ਤੇ ਭਗਤੀ ਪ੍ਰੇਮਾ ਭਗਤੀ. So we all sit in the court of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj in the Darbar Sahib, in their Sabha, we can say, in their court. So we're so blessed to be here today and to go for the Bani of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. Maharaj Ji has Beer Rasi Bani, Bani that's filled with so much warrior spirit, and then Viragame Bani. Viragame Bani Pave that invokes a moodiness of detachment from the world. Ke Jagarachana Sabachut hai Jan Lehore Meed. Ke this whole Jag, this whole Jagat, Sari dunya jhoothi hai, this whole world is false. Maharaj Ji is trying to relate this to us, that this whole world that we see is all a tamasha, it's all a big play that is taking place, and how absorbed we become in the tamasha. And that's why we have Sad Sangat, such a court satani neev, they say Sad Sangat vich jeev tar janda hai, they cross over. Sad Sangat male so tariya. That coming into Sad Sangat, this is what's going to keep us above the water, stop us from drowning if we stay in Sad Sangat. If you look at our lives, there's many obstacles that come up. And there was a Sakhi of a sap, might have told it a few times in the past. Okay, this snake held onto you could say onto a mouse, and it bit into the mouse and it's about to kill the mouse and eat it. There was civilians asking when it was about to eat the little jua, you could say. At that moment, it realized that it had a disease inside. If it ate it, it was going to die from that poison of the food, of eating the mouse. But if it was to let go of it, the mouse would have scratched their eyes out. So this person realized, or this snake in that case, that I have no option. I can either die from a disease or I go blind. And sometimes in our life, we look at situations, think, both sides I'm going to fail. I'm trapped. But there was always one option for the snake, and that was to go into a water. Shalimar could go deep into the water, and the mouse would drown in the water, and it would survive. What is the water for us? The water for us is Sad Sangat. That in our lives, on one side, it looks like we cannot solve the problem. On the other side, the same thing. We're stuck. But the Guru is saying that even in that situation, if you come into Sad Sangat, then you can be saved. In Sad Sangat, anything can happen. Sat Sangat male so tariya. Sat Sangat kaisi janiye, jithe eko naam vakhaniye. Where is Sad Sangat? Where there is naam. Pave the Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji de huzuri de vich, ja, where there are Guru Sikhs. Where not somebody who just looks the part, but they lived that Sikhi. Una di sangat karke. By keeping their company, then anybody can be saved. Anybody can be saved by doing sangat of those Gurmukhs, those ones who become one with Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji or with Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj themselves. So ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਅਤਿਅੰਤ ਵੱਡੇ ਭਾਗ ਹਨ. We're so blessed to be sitting in Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji Hazuri. ਤੇ ਸੰਖੇਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਧ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੋ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਰਵਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ, what we went last week in the Katha, Maharaj Ji said to us, Rag Bilawal, ke so ke manas roop kaha, that don't see the Guru as a manas meaning manukh. Our Guru is way more than any type of human. Our Guru is capable of doing anything. Anything. Our Guru is Sarabakala Samrat. They have all the Shakti, Sarva Shaktivan. Then they say ke Siddha Samad Sadhaka Rahade Kyo Huna Dekh Na Pai. That so many people in this world Siddha Loka. Jarasi Siddha, 84 Siddhs, Gorakhanath, Machindranath. These are like seen as the highest of the yogis, you could say the Siddhs. They did Bhagavati for hundreds of years, so many years. But even they all gave up in the end. Hare, Sare Hare. Machindranath Sasangaji, he did so much bhakti, so much. But in his last moment, what happened to him? He had so much power that he could leave his body and go and sit in somebody else's body. He went his whole life doing Jat Sat, Tapasya, everything you can imagine. You could say the most hardest type of penance. In his last moments before he was going to leave his body, there was a king who passed away. And he thought to himself, okay, I've never been able to live the life of a king and enjoy women. So he went to the body of the king, and then he started to engage in that pleasure. So even he went so many years of doing meditation, but it was all for what? In the last moments he could leave his body and sit in the body of a king and just indulge in lust. So Mahdi is saying that all these people Siddha Samadhi, they all keep these different types of meditation, but hard is hard again. They've all tried, but they've all failed. Why have they all failed? Because what was the reason for doing it? When we do part, when we have love and devotion for God, why are we doing it for? That is the question we have to ask ourselves. Why do we do it? What is the reason? Are we doing it for something in return? Because at the end of the day, anything that we ask for besides Vahiguru Ji is going to lead to dukh in the end. Vinatu dohor je mangana, sir dukha ke dukh, dehe naam santokhya, utare man ki pukh. Guru Gobind Singh Ji says, if I ask for anything else but you, in essence, at the end of my life, that's just going to be dukh. It's going to give me dukh. Because fair enough, we need things in this world, but if we hold on to those things, if it's Sasangaji, Antale Samidich in last moments of our life, it's going to give us dukh because we're going to be holding on to that when we should have held on to our Guru, held on to their Lord. So that was last week's Sanket, which Amarji spoke of Sucham te Sucham Karachi ne Bridd batai Sucham. That Vahiguru Ji is the most finest thing, the smallest of the small. So hard to find. Just like a piece of sugar, a little grain of sugar in a pile of sand. So hard to find. And they say, Bhagat Kabir Ji says to us, if you had a hathi, an elephant, how is the elephant going to find a little piece of sugar? It's impossible. So you have to become like a kiri, like an ant. Kiri ban ke saas, meaning becoming humble. Then we can find Parameshwar Vahiguru Ji. So that was last week in the Katha, but this week Guru Sahib Ji continues. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji in his Nova Shabad. So Shabad Hazaare Patshahi Dasvee Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji. The Bani, this prayer of Guru Gobind Singh, there's 10 Shabads in it. We're in the 9th one, so next week will be Samapti, will be the end of this Katha, and then we'll start a new Katha Vichar afterwards. So let's focus our minds on the charan, the feet of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. So let's close our eyes and look towards Guru Gobind Sahib Ji. And we're going to say Satnam Vahiguru together, and then we'll start this, the Katha. So Sari Sangat, Kirpa Karo, Te Sari Sangat Akho, Satnam, Sri Vahiguru Sahib Ji.
ਰਾਗ ਦੇਵ ਗੰਧਾਰੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਦਸਵੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਬਿਨ ਦੂਸਰ ਸੋਨਾ ਚਿਨਾਰ.
So Rag Dev Gandhari which Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji Patshahi Dasvee Dasve Patshah Tan Tan Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji ਬਚਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਬਿਨ ਦੂਸਰ ਸੋਨਾ ਚਿਨਾਰ. ਇੱਕ ਬਿਨ ਇੱਕ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾ, without that one Vahiguru Ji, Dusar Sona Chinar. Dusar means anybody else. Sona Chinar. Chinar the arth hai Sasangaji Pachanana. To know. They say that I don't know anybody else but Vahiguru Ji. Ik bin. So kyo bisare jin sab kich jiya. Diya. So kyo bisare je jeevan jiya. Comes in Sri Sukhmani Sahib ke so kyo bisare. So kyo, so he means how. So kyo. Kyo means how. So kyo bisare. Bisare means to forget. So kyo bisare jin sab ke chadiya. Jin. That one Vahiguru Ji sab ko chadiya. Diya means sab ko ditta. That one Vahiguru Ji who's given us everything. So kyo bisare je jeevan jiya. They've given us his life. Fir so kyo bisare je agan meh rakhe. Agan he means fire. But it means in the womb of the mother. Je agan meh rakhe. Mata de garad vich utthe vi Vahiguru Ji sadi rakhya kiti. See, Vahiguru Ji protected us in the womb of the mother as well. But they say Guru Prasad ko birla lakhe. Guru Prasad means Vahiguru Ji's kirpa, their blessings. Ko birla, birla means very rare, virla. Lakhe means to know. The most rare person understands is that Vahiguru Ji is giving us everything. Guru Prasad ko birla lakhe. Nobody really knows this. We don't really think about these things, that from the start to the end, ke ek bin dusara sona chinar. Guru Gobind Singh is saying that I don't see nobody else. All I see is Vahiguru Ji. Vahiguru Ji is doing everything that happens. Everything that I see around me, sab Gobind hai, Gobind bind nahi koi. Everything is Gobind, everything is Vahiguru Ji. Ke Vahiguru Ji is doing everything, there's nobody else doing anything. It is Parameshwar Ji themselves, Hanji.
Panjan Gardan Samarath Sada Prab Janat hai Kartar.
And they say Panjan Gardan, Pannan wala, Nash Karan wala, the one who destroys everything. Panjan Garna Samrat Sada Prabh. Vahiguru Ji themselves is the destroyer. They destroy everything. They create and then they destroy. Not just these physical things, but even those things that are taunting us, that are attacking us all the time. Vahiguru Ji destroys them. So all our worries, Vahiguru Ji is the one who destroys our worries. Vahiguru Ji is the one that takes away all those enemies that are fighting us every single day. Not the physical worries, the ones of our thoughts. Every single day we have, 30,000, 60,000 thoughts a day. The worst thing that can happen is somebody gets stuck in their thoughts. Then every thought becomes a warrior that's attacking them. How are we meant to beat that? Panch Satavahe Duta Kavana Bidamarne comes in Gurbani that these five messengers, these five warriors, these five demons, Panch Satavahe Dut. Satav means Satondehan. They keep on taunting me every single day. Anger, desires, you name it, all attachment. Kavana Bidamarne. Mar saying Kavana Bid. Kis tarike dala, which technique? Kavana Bid Marne. Marne means to destroy. Ja vas karna. Vas means to control. Tikhana bana chalai. Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj saying this in Guru Granth Ji Maharaj Ji, Tikhana bana chalai. Tikhana means very sharp. Take the sharpest arrow that you have and fire that arrow. What is the arrow of? Naam. Tikhana bana chalai of Vahiguru Ji's Naam. Naam Rupi Tir leke. Take that Naam Rupi Tir, that name of Vahiguru Ji as your arrow, and use that and fire that arrow. Just like it comes in Ramguri ki Var, ke mat gur atma dev kharg jor ke. Say take that the kharg, Gyan Rupi kharg. Take Naam, take Guru Bani as your weapon and use that to protect you. So Panjana Garna Samrat Sada Prabh. That one Vahiguru Ji who has all the Shakti, they're the one that can destroy all of our problems that we see around us. And then Maharaji says ke Panjan Garan Samrat Sada Prabha Janata Hai Kartar. That Vahiguru Ji is that one who knows everything. Janana Wala Vahiguru Ji. That whatever happens in our life, Vahiguru Ji sees everything that's happening. They understand this everything that's happening. And like we said, Jo pe jo, so binasa hai, paro aaj ke kaal. That everything that we see around us is going to go one day. Jo upajo, whatever is being created, so binasa hai. Guru Maharaji, Guru Tegh Bahadurji says, so binas hai, binas means be destroyed. Paro aaj ke kaal, paro pave parso, day after tomorrow, aaj now, kaal, kalnu, tomorrow. Everything that we see, panjana garna. Vahiguru Ji creates and it's all going to go one day, Hanji.
Rahao.
So Vishram De Ke Maharaj says, pause and think about this. That Vahiguru Ji is doing everything and Vahiguru Ji is the destroyer. So if today in the world there is a dushta, there's an enemy, there's many enemies. Vahiguru Ji is the one who will destroy them in their own way. Whether that's through another Gursikh, whether that's through their own kudrati, for their own nature, whatever it is, Vahiguru Ji is the one that can destroy anything. Like we said earlier, Sevaka Sikha Hamare Tariya hai, Chun Chun Satara Hamare Mariya hai. Guru Gobind Singh is saying that protect my Guru Sikhs, protect my Sevaks, and those dush, those enemies, destroy them. That is the ardas that we do, Jadasi Chaupe Sada Part Pardya, we do this ardas as well, that destroy all these enemies that are physical and that sit in my mind, Hanji.
Kaha payo jo at hit chit kar bahud sila pujai.
So Maharaj says, Kaha payo, ki hoya? Jo at hit chit kar. Jo pave je, at means bahut, hit means prem, chit, kar, pave man de vich, ja chit de vich, in our mind, in our consciousness. They say those people bahut hit, but he prayed in our hearts with so much love. What did they do? Boho bid sila pujai. Boho bid means with many, many techniques. Sila pujai. Patthar di puja karte. They say those people who worship a patthar, who worship a stone. Guru Sahib is saying that what is the reason for doing this? Why are you doing this for? So Maharaji here is giving updesh to those people in Hindustan and Bharatalok. Okay, what is the reason for doing this? What are you going to gain from this? Just like from the time of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, when the Kar Seva of Sri Harmandir Sahib was happening, and Kar Seva means that the Seva of constructing Sri Harmandir Sahib. And when they were constructing Sri Harmandir Sahib, imagine the first time those Guru Sikhs, how blessed they are to do Seva Sri Harmandir Sahib, but there wasn't enough money. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji said to the Sangat, okay, we need more Maya, we need some more money to keep the Seva going. And they said, who will go to one of these Raje and ask if they give any money towards the Kar Seva? At that time, Bhai Kalyana Ji came forward. Bhai Kalyana Ji was a Sikh of Guru Arjan. They said, Maharaj, if you bless me, I'll go and speak to Raja. There was a card and there was a reason why Guru Sahib Ji wanted to go to this specific Raja. So Bhai Kalyana Ji goes to that desh, to that place where the Raja is. And Bhai Kalyana Ji is a Guru Da Sikh. So what is Bhai Kalyana Ji going to do? Bhai Kalyana Ji only knows Vahiguru Ji. Ek bin dusra sona chirar. They don't know nobody else. They don't worship nobody else, only worship Vahiguru Ji. So every single day, Amrit Vele jag ke, Ishnan karke, they do their bhakti, bhajan bandagi. They meditate. They do Ishnan through water and through Naam, through Gurbani. Like we say, Kar Ishnan Simna Prabh Apana. That by remembering Vahiguru Ji, they're doing Ishnan. Ja Tirath na, vana jao, Tirath Naam hai. Tirath Sabad Vichar Antara Gyana hai. That they would sit there and read Gurbani and contemplate what Gurbani is saying every single day. That was their practice. But in that city where the Raja was, they had their own practice, which was to do puja of murtiya, of different types of, statues and so on, and of patthar di puja, to worship a stone. And what they'd even do is they'll take the patthar and they'll bathe it in some water and they'll drink that water as well. And that was their puja, that was their worship. But the Guru Sikh, what is their puja? Guru Meri puja. Guru Gobind, the puja of the Shabad, of Gurbani. So as Prakar asking, what happened was that they realized that Bhai Kalyana Ji doesn't follow their practice. They don't keep fast. Vartani Rakadyan, they don't fast, they don't do puja, they don't worship the stone. So they call Bhai Kalyana Ji and they say, what are you doing? And Bhai Kalyana Ji says, what are you doing? Just like Hey Guru Gobind Singh is saying, Ke kaha pe ho jo aate het chit kara, boh bide sila poja. All these techniques you follow of worshipping a patthar, the patthar can't even speak to you. They say the path that I follow of my gurus of Prema Bhakti. What is Prema Bhakti like? Imagine a tree. At the top of the tree, if you want to get to the top of the tree, who's going to get there quicker? The bird or the ant? The bird, hopefully, right? The little ant has to crawl up to the top. So much struggle to get up there. Who knows, along the way they might get eaten by something. The bird just goes straight to the top. Prema Bhakti is like the bird. The quickest and easiest way to get to the top, to get to Vahiguru Ji is Prema Bhakti. So when Bhai Kalyana Ji basically said to them that what you guys are doing, it's not going to get you anywhere, they got really angry with Bhai Kalyana Ji and took him to the Raja. Raja got so angry he tried to chop Bhai Kalyana Ji's leg off as a punishment. When they're about to chop Bhai Kalyana Ji's leg off, Bhai Kalyana Ji says to Guru Arjan Dev Ji, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, Sadi Laj Rakho, protect our honor, protect me now. And when that happens, the Raja faints at that time. He faints in that moment. And everybody gets shocked. And they put two and two together and realize that because Bhai Kalyana Ji is here, the Raja must have fainted because of Bhai Kalyana Ji. So they say to Bhai Kalyana Ji, can you help the king? So Bhai Kalyana Ji does another ardas and the king gains their consciousness again. And the king says, take me to your guru, this one who's shown you this path of Prema Bhakti. They come to the court of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, and when they sit in the court of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, there's a Sikh reading Gurbani to the Sangha, to Guru Arjan Dev Ji. So today, we read Gurbani, and even in that time, they read Gurbani to the Guru. When we come in Guru Sahib Hazuri, and we read Gurbani, you're not just reading Gurbani to yourself, you're reading Gurbani to Guru Sahib Ji. So when we wake up in the morning, and we read Path, we're not just reading Gurbani to ourselves. Imagine we're reading it to the Guru. And then when we put Dhyan into Gurbani, for example, Siddhi Jab Sadapat, we think, wow, what a Bani that Guru Sahib has made, Siddhi Jab Sadapat. So beautiful. The chal, the rhythm, the poetry. Next level, we say here in the West, right? The Bani that Guru Sahib has given us. So at that time, a Shabad in Dakhni O Ankar, Lek na mitai hai sakhi, jo likhya kartar. He's hearing the Shabad. What is the Shabad saying? कि lekh means our lekha, our destiny. That Shabad is saying, that prayer is saying that your lekha, your destiny cannot be changed. Lekh na mite he Sakhi, O my companions, your future cannot change. Lekh na mite he Sakhi, jo likhya kartar, whatever WhyGuru Ji has written, that cannot be changed. So when this Raja hears this, he thinks to himself, then why am I sitting here for? Why am I sitting in Guru Arjan Dev Ji's court if whatever's written is not going to be changed? What is the point? And they go to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj and they say, what is the point then? If lekh na mite hai sakhi jo likhya kartar, whatever's written by Parameshwar Ji, if it cannot be changed, then what is the point? What is the point of doing part? What is the point of coming to the Godara? What's the point of doing anything? If whatever's going to happen is going to happen anyway. Guru Arjan Dev Ji says to them, because in that Shabad, they say, Nadar teri sukh paya, Nanak sabad vichar. Guru, I'll tell you what that means later unless Onkar Singh is put in the board already and in a spoiler alert. But Maharaji says to this Sikh king that give me 3 days and you get your answer. Then Dinadevich, you get your answer. So that Raja that day, he goes back. He goes back and he rests. And he sleeps, and that night he has the worst dream ever. I'm sure we all have nightmares sometimes, right? Okay, everybody starts in those nightmares feel so real. And in his dream, he lived the rest of his life as a Raja. And you know in life you get dukh and sukh, right? You know when you have a dream and everything feels so real, and you wake up, your heart's beating fast, and you think that, and you start thinking about it for the next few hours, or for the whole day, you're thinking about that dream, and it can be quite traumatic as well. He wakes up the next day, and there's guards standing there, saying that Guru Arjan Dev Ji is going out to the jungles. Go meet Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, they're calling you. The Raja goes into the jungle, the Raja does shikar, the Raja hunts. And when he goes into the jungle, he sees a hidden, he sees a deer, and he chases the deer. He starts chasing the deer really, really quickly, to the point where he loses his own soldiers. And he's stuck in the middle of the jungle, he's lost the deer, he's lost his soldiers, he's on his own, and he's lost. What to do? It's really hot, so he sits under a tree, he just lays there, thinking when the sun goes down, I'll carry on and find my way back. When he's laying there, he rests again, right? What I forgot to mention was that in that dream, he lived his whole life as a king, he died, and he's reborn in the house of a very low caste. Chandal de Kard, which in a very low caste. People that burn bodies, basically, right? There's a job in India, right? To cremate the bodies. They were given that job. So he was born into that house and he lived his whole life, dukh sukh again, kids, grandkids, you know all that stuff, right? So he lives all of that. And he wakes up and then he's gone out hunting, he's lost, and he falls asleep. When he falls asleep and he takes a nap, somebody comes up to him. And this person is so upset because they just lost their dad. And he's from a low caste family as well. And when the king opens his eyes, that poor person looks at the king and says to him, Dad? Or Pitaji? And the king goes, I'm not your dad. I'm a Raja. You're from a low caste. I'm not your father. But the Raja's confused because in the dream that he had the night before, he's seen this person in his dream. But he's confused, but he's saying, I'm not your king. And the son is saying, Dad, we buried you, but what are you doing here? Why are you dressed as a king? Where did you get all these shastra, these swords from? These nice clothes, this armor? So the son is confused and the king is confused. What's going on? And a little fight breaks out. And the king's like, I'm not your dad. And the poor guy's like, you are my dad. Right? So a lot of pange happening at this moment. And what happens then is that Guru Arjan Dev Ji and the Sikhs come at that time. And the Guru Arjan Dev Ji says, what's happening? And they said, they keep saying that I'm their father. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji speaks and said, when was the last time you saw your father? And they said, the last time I saw my dad was when I buried him. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji said, if you buried your father, why didn't you go look in the grave? If the body is there, he's not your dad. But if the body is not there, then he is your dad. So they go, they pick all the mitti, they obviously dig up all the mitti, they open the the casket, and they find that the body's in there. So they come back to the king and say, okay, my bad, you ain't our dad, right? Messed up there, right? But the king is confused because the king thinks to himself that I saw these people in my dream, but in real life they're saying I'm their dad, but of course I'm not their dad. So it's like like Inception. It's like some crazy thing going on. Like two things are happening at the same time. He doesn't know what's real because sometimes you look at dreams, you think, is this real or is this fake? So he rests that day, and on the third day, he thinks I should go to Guru Arjan Dev Ji. Let me ask Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj Ji, what is the कारण, what is the reason for this? So in that Shabad, Lekh ne mite he sakhi, jo likhya kartar, they say, Ape कारण jin kiya, kar kirpa pagatar. Ape कारण jin kiya, Ape कारण, everything occurs according to them, according to WhyGuru Ji. Ape कारण. कारण means reason. So what happens then is that they come to the court of Guru Arjan Dev. You say, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, explain this. Hey Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj Ji, I don't understand anything. Tu samrath vadda, meri mat thodi ram. I don't know nothing, Guru Arjan Dev Ji. Guru Arjan Dev Ji said to them, Ke lekh na mite he sakhi jo likhya kartar. That whatever is written by WhyGuru Ji cannot be changed. However, Nadar teri sukh paya. Whoever comes into the court of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Ji, Nadar he means nazar, kirpa drishti, the glance of grace. Nadar teri sukh paya, Nanak sabad vichar. Guru Sahib Ji says that the one who comes into the court of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, who sees the Guru, who gains Guru Prasad, then that karam can be changed. Merit means it cannot be destroyed, but it can be altered, it can be changed. Does that make sense? It can be changed if the Guru places their glance of grace upon us. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji says that when you came into the Sharan of the Guru, then that lekha of yours that couldn't be removed, it was changed. Because everything you was meant to experience in that next life, 80 years of dukh and sukh, was just put in a dream. That's what happened. So he still lived at the karam. Karam still happened, right? But in their dream. So chalo, maybe next overnight we think, okay, maybe that was meant to happen, but it didn't happen. Guru squashed it into a dream. But the point of this is whoever comes into the Guru Sharan, whoever comes into Guru Granth Sahib Ji's sanctuary, anything is possible. Everything is here in the sanctuary of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. That even when we matha take and we put our hands on the floor, we put our matha on the floor, that lake, those lines that are written on our hands, on our matha, that can even be changed every single time we come here darshan of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. But look at the start of that Sakhi, that Raja used to do puja of pathars, of stones, and of murtiya and so on. But what were they going to gain for that? Atta hita, chitta. Atta means so much, hita means prendana, so much love, but they were gaining nothing from it. But just once, if you come to the Guru, Baba Attar Singh Ji, Mastwala Mahapurush, a great saint, and they said if you cry one tear in the love of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, that one tear will burn away millions of sins. Just one tear in the love of the Guru. If you come in front of the Guru, one tear, that one tear can burn away billions of karam, billions of dukh, so much dukh, just by coming to the Sharan of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Hanji.
प्राण थक्यो पाहिन कह पर सत कछ कर सिद्ध न आई.
So Maharaj says thakyo, that those people that did puja of stones, patthar, of murtiya, adaka, say oh sare thak gaya. They all got tired. They all so tired. Prana thakyo pahin kahe par sat. Pahin means patthar. Kahe par sat. Par sat means to touch, to do the seva. They say Pran, they've just, you say Prana Tari Ji, the one whose life force is in them, or just run out of breath. They're so tired doing this again and again and again. Kada siddh na ai. Siddh he means pave ridya siddhya. Ja siddh, another arth is shuddha. Pave, the mind does not become pure. Then they do all these actions, they do puja of this patthar, but they've gained no siddhya. They haven't controlled their mind. Mind has not become shuddh. The mind is not pure. They try again and again and again, but they don't gain nothing from doing this, Hanji.
ਅਛਤ ਧੂਪ ਦੀਪ ਅਰਪਤ ਹੈ ਪਾਹਨ ਕਛੂ ਨ ਖੈ
What else do they do? Achet pave chawal. Chawal means chawl. So if you ever go into Langar and they say chawal, Vahiguru Ji, it basically means chawl, rice. Right? Achet, toop, incense. We all like toof, right? You put it on in the house, makes everything smell nice, so on. Deepa, deep here, referring to like candles and divas and so on. Adapat. Adapat here means adapana, to give forward, to donate. Just like how we come to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji, when we place peta, we put many things down in front of the Guru. They put this in front of a patthar. They put it in front of a stone. The Maharaj Ji says, ke pahana kachu na khe hai. They say pahana means a patthar, kachu na khe hai. Khe means khanda hai, kuch nahi khanda hai. It doesn't eat nothing. They say that you put all these things down in front of the patthar, but it's not eating it. It's the idea of being lost in this practice. And Guru Nanak Ji Maharaj Ji went around the whole of Hindustan, Bharat, and they gave this update. They put people back on the path. Sab sadhana ko raho batayo. Tenhe kalmo dharma chalayo. Sab sadhana ko raho batayo. Say Guru Nanak Ji came in Kali Yuga to put all those people back on the path. Became lost in empty practices. They gained nothing from that. Whole life, imagine that, 400 years for example. Last week we talked about a yogi, he lived for 5,120 years. In 5,000 years, only thing he grew was his hankar. Nothing else grew, just his hankar, about his umr, about how old he's able to get. But Guru Sahib is saying, ke pahana kachu na khe hai. The patthar can't even eat the food that you're putting in front of you, Hanji.
ਤਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਂ ਸਿੱਧ ਹੈ ਰੇ ਜੜ ਤੋਹੇ ਕਛੂ ਬਰਦਾ ਹੈ
And he said, ta mai the arth hai vich. That in that patthar, kaha siddha hai. What power does it have? What is it able to do for you? Re jad. Jad hai means murak. Hey murak. Oh fool. What are you seeing in this patthar? There is no life in it. Tohe kachu barda hai. Barda hai means boon, blessing. It can't give you nothing. On one side, we can say Guru says talking about this patthar, but many of us sit here like a patthar as well. We sit here like a stone as well. We don't do nothing and we expect everything. We don't want to put any effort in, but we want everything. It's like there's a pankti in Gurbani, I can't remember it. It's like, we do a little bit of seva, but we ask for so much. Is our common the pankti in Gurbani. We just do a tiny bit, but we want everything from the Guru. But we don't put anything in. So on one side they're saying this patthar. What can a patthar give us? But if we act like a stone and we just sit there all day doing nothing, what do we expect to receive? The Guru is saying that you have to act. We have to act. The Sikh is a doer. We have to act ourselves. Apana hathi apana apahi kaja sawadya. This Guru has given us all the tools. So we have to apply them into our lives. And then Guru Sahib Ji kirpa kar, and then we gain the Guru's blessings. Just like last week, when they came to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, and Guru Arjan Dev Ji, they said to Guru Sahib Ji, how do we gain mukti? Ke Maharaj Ji mukti di daat baksho. Give us his blessing of mukti. The Maharaj Ji said to them, ke naam daan ishnan karya karo. Do these three things. Naam japo, daan, give charity, the ishnan. Pave amrit vile jag ke. And then in the day do ishnan. Physical ishnan, also through Gurbani as well. And they said, ke Guru Sahib Ji, when you have daya upon us, when you bless us with your compassion, fir asi karange, then we'll do it. The Guru Arjan Dev Ji said to them, if you want my daya, if you want my blessings, if you want my compassion, my mercy, then you have to start. If we don't start, then how can we gain the Guru's kirpa? Of course, Guru Sahib is always doing kirpa, we know that. But in our mindset, in our state of mind, we can't live like that we're just going to wait for something to happen. We have to make a conscious effort ourselves, is what Guru Sahib is saying. Don't be like a patthar. Don't be like a stone. Make an effort, Guru Sahib is saying. Be alive, be chetan. The patthar is jada swarup. It's lifeless. But we have life inside us. The Guru's given us a life force. So use it. Don't waste it, Maharaj is saying. Hanji.
ਜੋ ਜੀਅ ਹੋਤ ਤਉ ਦੇਤ ਕਛੂ ਤੋਹੇ ਮਨ ਬਚ ਕਰਮ ਵਿਚਾਰ
So Khiliya Pankti with Sasang Ji, Guru Sahib is saying ke man karke, ja bachan karke, karam karke. They say through these three things, man bach karam, our karam. Karam means our actions. We're judged on these three things. What we think, what we speak, and what we do. It's not just what we do. You think, I just looked, I just thought about it, I didn't do it. But Guru Sahib is saying that we're judged on all three things. What we think, what we say, and what we do. Because you know a lot of times that what we think is what we end up saying, we end up doing it. Right? So you know if somebody struggles with some sort of, if they struggle with lust, for example, then first we have to stop doing it, we have to stop speaking about it, then we'll start thinking about it. Or if we think about it, we're likely to speak about it, then we're likely to do it. Or for any other example, look in our own lives, whatever challenges we face. These three things are judged. But Guru Sahib is saying that take our mind, through our words, through our actions, they say, do vichar. Think about this one thing. Ke jo ji hot to det kachu to hai. Say that this pathar, jiya means life. They say, jo ji hot to det kachu to hai. They say it has no life and it gives you nothing, this pathar. So Guru Sahib is giving up desh. But what can we gain? Where can we gain everything? So Khili Pankti which Maharaj ji bachan karde han hanji.
ਕੇਵਲ ਏਕ ਸਰਨ ਸੁਆਮੀ ਬਿਨ ਯੋ ਨਹਿ ਕਤਹਿ ਉਦਾਰ
So Keval, there's only one place where we can gain everything. Kevala eka sarana swami, then bin. You say bin he means without. Guru Sahib is saying that where can we gain everything? In the sharan, in the court of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Swami. Swami he means master. Ke Maharaj ji de sharan de vich. Yon hai kate ho udar. Pave uthe Sah Singh Ji Maharaj ji sharan de vich, we can gain mukti. We can be saved. Udar. Udar means to be saved. If you come into the court of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji. In this court of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj Ji, all the blessings are gained. But not in the other cases which Guru Sahib Ji speaks about. Like we hear in Sri Twa Prasad Savaiye, ke kaha payo, jo do lochan mund ke, baith rahe ho bakte aan lagayo. Say, what is somebody going to gain sitting there with their eyes closed, looking like they're doing bhakti? But they say, just like how a crow sits there with his eyes closed and it waits near. I was seeing in India, when I was in India a few weeks ago, I was looking at a Saror with the fish in it, and there was just little birds sitting there. Right next to you see in Harmandir Sahib as well, in this Amrit Sarovar, they just sit there waiting for the machia to come and they try and grab it. And they're saying, in the same way it sits there, it deceives the fish, and it looks like it's asleep or it's in a deep state of meditation. There's many people who look the part. They look like they're so religious. They may have the roop, but unfortunately inside, their mind is somewhere else. So it's something not to be fooled by as well. Like a jiyo ho mele, bahar ho nirmal. Comes in inside the part, ke jiyo ho mele. Andaro, inside they're dirty, but bahar ho nirmal. But on the outside they look very, very clean. Very difficult time. One thing that I learned is that trust is a very hard thing to give. It's very hard to trust people because nobody's perfect. But it's not about trusting people. It's about trusting WhyGuru Ji in situations and in people. Trusting WhyGuru Ji will guide us in the right way. Right? Whatever's happening, Guru Sahib is guiding us on that path as well. And even in these times as well, keeping our faith in Sikhi and keeping our faith in the Guru. Because what is it about Sikhi that unfortunately many people have an issue with Sikhi? We're being attacked on every single corner. We've been attacked in the education system. If you go to India today, in the education system, what they say about Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, they even say in some books that Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji committed suicide. In educational books in India, when they teach. The Guru Sikhs had the reason. The Guru Sahib didn't commit suicide. Guru Sahib Ji gave Shahidi. We got people here in the UK, in Brunel University, talking about our Guru Sikhs saying they're terrorists. In our own education systems, people that are not even Sikhs speaking about Sikh activists saying such things. We've got people of different religions. We've got Musliman, we've got Hindus who dress up as Sikhs. And what do? They speak about Sikhi and say, oh, that's a lie. That's a lie. There's no such thing as Panch Kakad. One of the main representatives of Sikhs in the UK says that Sikhs don't need to wear kirpans anymore. Sikhs should wear wooden kirpans. Or we don't even need it anymore. And what was the response to him? That why do you wear the star in your head then? If you can get rid of the kirpan, then you must get rid of the star. You didn't know what to say. So right now we're getting attacked on all corners. And you go to India and you see what's happening now with Bhai Amritpal Singh. And that's one issue when it comes to Bhai Amritpal Singh Ji, what they're doing. But in 1984, there was a complete media blackout. So that means that nobody had any idea what was going on in Punjab. But Asar Sangha Ji, 39 years later, 40 years later, right now in Punjab, we have no idea what's going on. WhatsApp is down, internet is down, phone calls are down in Punjab. 40 years later, we think today that we know everything. India, UK, and we know everything. You still can't do anything today. We made a video last night, nothing really political, just talking about the worries of Punjab. Right? You look at Bhai Amritpal Singh Ji, you can say whatever you want, but because of him, thousands of people have been taking Amrit and leaving Nasha, leaving drugs. Who else can do that? Who else is even doing that? Right? We need to read ourselves or watch ourselves, not listen to other people. But he's been labeled as something. But if you look online, what's crazy is that we made a video, 90-second video, and if you look at that video, this is how you know that there's something seriously wrong going on. Because in our comment section, you have all these fake accounts commenting. They're called bots. So they're not even real people. They're machines that are made to just write hate comments in our comment section. Who is making this? Who is doing this? Why are they doing this for? What do they see in Sikhi? We're not a big group. There's only about 30 million of us. The world's population is 8 billion. We don't even make up 1% of the world's population. But we're such a threat because one Sikh is known as Sawa Lakh. Do you know? Have you ever heard that before? One Sikh is Sawa Lakh. One Sikh of Guru Gobind Singh Ji is equal to 125,000 people. One Sikh. So one Sikh is very dangerous, what one Sikh can do. The change that one Gurdas Sikh can make is on another level. So this one individual who's gone around Punjab, come into Sikhi just over a year ago, kept their case, went from Dubai back to India, and now is doing mass Parchar of Sikhi from pind to pind, taking people off nashe, of drugs, and giving them something to live for. And what's happened now? They've been arrested with about 70 other Singhs in Punjab, but we have no idea what's going on. No idea. And they can just do whatever they want. We have no idea. And if we try to say something, what they do, they write crazy comments. Or what else will they do? They'll block us. So on the internet, we can't even say nothing. Some of our videos have 0 views. It's called shadow ban. So even if you don't believe in, for example, the politics, you think this is political, because we've even got people commenting saying, if Bhai Jagdal Singh Ji was around today, he wouldn't be talking about this. Mate, if you know anything about Bhai Jagdal Singh Ji, he'd be the first one. And if we didn't do nothing, we'd get shitted. I'll tell you that straight. Back in those days, when Bhai Jagdal Singh Ji was around, if one of the Singhs in our team did not do something, they'll get in trouble so badly. And it was scary. Right? So when people say this, it's like, who is saying this? I don't think it's people that watch basic Sikhi videos, because you look at our views, they're not even that high anyway, right? So I don't think people are watching our videos anyway. But for some reason, when something comes out that's a little bit controversial to them, then they all comment. But the point of me saying this is that if you don't want to follow any of the politics, why are they suppressing our voice? There's so many other issues in the world that are going on, and we're such a small community. Why are they suppressing us? Have we ever thought about that? If we're nobodies in that respect, of course, I'm not saying we're nobodies, but in the grand scheme of the world, if we are technically not even 1%, not even 0.5% in the whole world's population, such a small community, why are they suppressing us for? What is there about Sikhi that we don't know about, that we're not living in our lives? What is so special about Sikhi? What are these people doing that they are so afraid of? That's what we got to ask ourselves. And are we going to be like this Patthar that Maharaji even speaks about? Are we going to be lifeless as well? Or are we going to make a difference? We can all make a difference in our life. It doesn't mean that everybody has to do what he's doing, but we can all do something. And the one thing that they're all trying to kill is Sikhi. And the one thing that we can all do is live Sikhi to stop them from achieving their goal. When you look in 1984, you say that it's because of Sant Jarnail Singh Ji. If you say it's because of Sant Jarnail Singh Ji, why did they burn down our libraries? Why did they burn our Pothi Sahibs and Guru Granth Sahib Ji's Swoops or take them? If this is about one individual, what does Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaji and all our Itihas and our Sikh reference library, which I've seen today, why that was a lot of the stuff that's taken away from us, why did they loot our Sikh reference library? What has the Sikh reference library got to do with Sant Jarnail Singh Ji? It wasn't, they attacked up to 100 Gurdwara Sahibs on that day. This is not an attack on Amritpal Singh. This is not an attack on Sant Jarnail Singh Ji in the past. This is an attack on our Sikhi. They're trying to kill our Sikhi. And the one thing we can all do is just live Sikhi. And they will hate that. That Sikhi is still growing and that more Sikhs are still coming in. And Maharaji Kirpa Karan, that one of those that we say, okay, we're the B team, right? Because the A team is going to come. Who is the A team? And then Asi Samapti going after this last vichar. Okay, when Sant Gyani Guru Bachan Singh Ji was in Samadhi in Chamkor Sahib, Sant Gyani Guru Bachan Singh Ji went to the deep state of meditation and they went to a different realm. And in that realm, there was a Sarovar, a Shahidi Sarovar. And there were these big figures taller than the clouds. Sant Gyani Guru Bachan Singh said, who are you? And he said that I am Baba Deep Singh Ji. I am Pai Taru Singh Ji. And they said, what are you doing here? They said that we're waiting here for Guru Gobind Singh to send us back on this earth to carry on this mission, the Khalsa. So Kenda Pave Sahib Singh Ji, these Guru Sikhs are going to come back. Are we tiyar bar tiyar? Are we ready upon ready? Or is our Sikhi just, is our Red, is our Sikhi Tilli? What is it? What are we doing with our lives? So it's time for us to wake up as well and live Sikhi. So do samapti hai inya benti pravan karniya Sahib ji maaf karo ji for the mistakes. We're going to have a Chaupai Sahib job upstairs in the second hall before the Langar hall on your right hand side if you go up the stairs. We'll be Chaupai Sahib job for about 15-20 minutes for the Chardi Kala of Pai Anpal Singh Ji and the Guru Sikhs that are in the prisons in Punjab in India. And then also the Japji Sahib course starting as well. So again, please for the mistakes made. Deho Sajjan Assis Sariya Jo Hove Sahib Sho Mela.
Jo jiya hot to det kachu to hai man bach karm vichar keval ek saran swami bin yo nah kat hai udar.
Vahiguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vahiguru Ji ki Fateh.
Vahiguru, Vahiguru.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Please donate and help spread Guruji's message. Link is in the description below. Vahiguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vahiguru Ji ki Fateh.
Vahiguru.